Let us open one of these photographs using the GIMP tool or the GNU image manipulation program. Let's go to File, Open. And here we have the photographs that are recently used. We can also go to Documents and see these photographs. Let's open the Toyota Corolla photograph. GIMP also gives you certain information about the photo. Can you see here? It is saying 1280 into 694. So this is telling you the number of pixels in the photograph. This is telling you the zoom value. You can change the zoom value here. You click on this and let's go to 100%. And you can see the image like this. Let's go to 200% now. So you can see a little bit more of the details. We are zoomed in further. Let's zoom out and see what happens. Let's go to 25%. So the image appears really tiny. So using this, we can zoom in and zoom out. Let us see how we can edit an image using the GIMP tool or the GIMP tool. Let's view the image at 66%, so that makes it easier for us to edit the image. So this is the photo at 66% zoom. We are able to see most of the details in the image. Let's increase the size of this window also. By clicking here, you're doing a single click here, dragging the window, so you can make the window slightly bigger. Let me make it slightly bigger. Okay, I have done a single click here with my mouse, left click, and I'm dragging the window. Let's look at some editing features. This window of GIMP is the window where you can see the image. Can you see this here, which says Toolbox? This is the window in GIMP which allows you to use different tools to edit the image. Let us see one simple feature of editing the image. Let us say I want to draw something on the image. Let me click on the pencil tool. Now within the toolbox, as you have many tools, each of the tool also has options. Let me increase the size of this toolbox so it is clear. I have selected the pencil tool. Now the pencil tool has multiple options. What are these options? One of the options is opacity. Opacity means what is the darkness of your pencil. Brush. Brush is different kinds of patterns, and we'll see this in a little while. Size. What is the size with which you are drawing? So let us see these three options first. So I selected the pencil tool and now I'm going to draw on it. See, I have drawn some sort of a circle. It's not a very neat circle, but I've drawn something. Okay, let me save this. File, save as. In GIMP, you might want to do File, Export As instead of Save As. So you click on Export As and you're able to see the Documents folder, and I'm going to save it as Toyota Corolla. So I'm typing the name here, Toyota Corolla, My Changes. Okay, see the name is here, Toyota Corolla with My Changes. With my changes. And I'm exporting this. So the file will be a JPG file, and when I click on export, a new file will be created. Let's go back to your Documents folder. Can you see Toyota Corolla with my changes? Let us open this in the image viewer and see how it appears. See, our circle has come up, black circle. Let's close the viewer, go back to the editor and make a few more changes. Let us go back to the editor tool or the GIMP tool and make a few more changes. We will see how we can draw a circle using a different color. The pencil tool is still selected. The color can be selected using this color selector here. Let me double click on this black box. See, this tells you that it is a foreground and background color selector. I am clicking on this black region here, rather double clicking. Now can you see that a color palette has appeared? This is known as a color palette. What you're seeing here is a palette of colors. And here you can select colors in different ways. You can select colors like this. See, the old color was black and the new color that has been selected is bright green. You can turn this wheel around, go here and select red color. So the old color was black and the new color is red. There are many other options. If you click on this GIMP icon, which is the original window that is visible, you can select different kinds of colors. So I can select blue here, I can select pink here, and I can change the darkness of the pink color. I can select orange here, and I can change the darkness of the orange. So if I go here, I select bright orange. If I go here, the orange becomes very dark, almost black. If I go here, there is little less of orange and more of black color. In the same way, I can do it for different colors. So this is bright green, this is darker green, this is almost black in color, and this is very light green. So I can select different colors like this. So let us say I want to select blue color. So one option would be go here and select dark blue. So the current color becomes blue, the old color is black. And let me click on OK. And now let's draw a circle again. This circle has appeared in blue color. Let me go and save the file. So here I can click on export as and select the file name, or I can also go and select this choice, export to Toyota Corolla with my changes. GIMP remembers that I had stored my previous file in Toyota Corolla with my changes, so I'll just select this option. So the file has become updated. Let's open the file using the viewer and see how it is. Let me minimize the GIMP window. Image is visible here. Let me open it with the viewer. So I'm double clicking on the image. There is a black circle, and here we have the blue circle that we have added. Let us learn a little bit about the color selection tool. Let me double click on this blue color box here. It says the old color is blue and the current color is this dark blue. But what do we mean by color? The colors that we see with our eyes are a combination of red, green and blue values. Can you see my mouse pointer here? It is showing you the red, green and blue value. Perfectly blue color has only blue value in it. So it doesn't have any red, or it has very low red. So let's see what is red equal to 0, green equal to 0 and blue equal to 255. See, this is perfect blue color. Similarly, if we make red color equal to 255, green color equal to 0 and blue color equal to 0, we get perfect red. And if we make this value 0, this value as 255 and this value as 0, you get perfect green. If you want to have other colors like orange or violet, you'll have to mix red, green and blue in different ways. Let us see what happens when you mix green and red. So we have green as 255. Let's see what happens when you have red as 255. What is the color that you obtain? Can you guess? Yes, the color is yellow when you combine red and green. What is the color that you get when you combine red and blue? Let's make green 0. Now we have red equal to 255, green equal to 0 and blue equal to 0. So this is perfect red color. See, the current value is saying red color. Let's select 255 for blue and see what is the color that we get. Hey, we are getting the color magenta. That means if you select red as 255, green as 0 and blue as 255, you would get magenta color. And this is how different colors are obtained. Now, if you make all three colors 255, let's see what we get. Red is 255, blue is 255. Let's see what happens when green is also 255. 255. What is the color here in this window? It says current is white. So if you add red, green and blue in equal quantities, that means 255, 255, 255, you get white color. Let's change the colors a little bit and see what are the different color mixes that we get. Let me make this 128. See, you got a tint of blue. Let me change this to 100. You get more blue and less red and less green. So by changing the RGB values, you can get different colors. But hey, you don't have to worry about RGB values. You can select the colors from the palette itself. So you can select this and go with red. But remember, the RGB values tell you whether you're selecting perfect red or you're selecting something else. But to get perfect red, this should be 255. These two values should be zeros. If there are other values, that means you're not selecting perfect red color, you're selecting something else. Perfect red is obtained here. Right? Similarly, perfect blue is obtained somewhere in the center here. Let me modify this and see where I get perfect blue. See, this is where I'm getting perfect blue, 00255. In the same way, I can get perfect green. By selecting this location in this bar and this location in this window here, I get perfect green. So you can select different colors and see their RGB values and thereby draw objects of different colors. So let's select this green color and draw something here. Let me change this to brown. And now I will select a brush of a different color. So what is this? This is my simple attempt at drawing a tree. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Let me save this file. File, export as Toyota Corolla with my changes, and I will call it file number 2. Toyota Corolla with my changes 2. and I'm clicking on export. And a new file gets created here. Let's continue learning more about the brush tool. Now that I've drawn a tree, let's see what else we can do with the brush. Can we change the size of the brush? Yes, let's change the size of the brush. Eeks, these look ugly. Let me remove them. How do I remove them? If this were a piece of paper and I were drawing with a sketch pen, then it's very difficult to remove them. But in a computer, using the GIMP tool, I can remove things that I've drawn very easily. I can go to edit and I can say undo pencil. And the last activity that I did gets deleted. Similarly, I'm going to go to edit and do undo pencil once again. And again do undo pencil. Let me make the size a little bit more manageable. Look at my mouse pointer here. So it is at the size box. I've done a single click here and I'm moving it to the left. So the size value is changing. The other way to do it is to select the size value and enter a number. So I've entered the number 20. So the brush has returned to its original size. See? But let me make it a little bit bigger. I want it to be 60. Okay? So this is a bit more manageable. Right? So you can change the size of the brush and draw objects having different pencil sizes or brush sizes. You can also make the size really tiny. I can make the size as 1 or 5 for that matter. Let me make it 5. And I can draw a very thin line, or I can draw a very thick line. Let us see what is this opacity parameter. Can you see something called opacity here? Let me change this opacity a little bit. First of all, I'll make the brush a little bigger so you can understand what is happening. So let me select a brush of size 60. I think this is reasonable. And I will select a solid brush here. So let me select this kind of brush. Okay. See, there are brushes of different types, by the way. So this is one brush, right? So if I draw using this brush, this is the pattern that I get. I don't really like this. Let me remove it. I can change the brush to some other pattern. Let us say this pattern. Right? Or maybe a star. So I get a star with my selected color. I'm not really liking brown color. Let me select a nice bright color. Let me select green. Okay, so with green color, I'm going to show you how opacity works. And let me change to this. So this is the kind of circle that I want. Now let me undo all of these steps and make the image a little clear. Edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Now you can either edit and do an undo using the menu. So I'm clicking on edit and then clicking on undo pencil. But I can also press the button Ctrl Z. So on your keyboard, you'll see a key which is called Control, and you can press the button Z, the alphabet Z. If you do this, the previous action that you did would be removed. So let me press Ctrl Z and see what happens. See, the star has disappeared. Can I make the star come back again? Yes, I can say redo pencil. The star comes back. The option for redo is also Ctrl Y. So with Ctrl Z, I can remove it. With Ctrl Y, I can add it. I can also remove using this edit undo pencil. I can also add it back using edit redo pencil. But let me remove all the stars. I don't really feel that these are necessary. I'll also remove these. using Ctrl Z. Okay. Now let's see what is opacity. I have selected this brush and let me draw a pattern using this brush. In fact, I will not draw on this image. I will draw on the original Toyota image. So let me save this again and let me close this file. Let me open the image again. Let me open Toyota Corolla original image without all my changes. So this is the original image and let me draw a straight line here. Okay, so I've drawn a straight line using green color and the brush tool. Let me change the opacity to 50. Let me draw again and see what happens. Can you see the difference between these two? Here when I did the drawing, I could not see anything of the original image. I could not see behind the green color, but this allows me to see a little bit. Let me reduce the opacity further to 25 and draw again. So now I can see a lot more of the car. So this is opacity. Let's save it. Export as Toyota Corolla with opacity. Now that we have explored the brush tool, let's look at a few other tools in GIMP. Let's look at tools that allow you to cut parts of the image. One option for erasing parts of the image or removing parts of the image is the eraser tool. Let's select the eraser tool. Now I've selected the eraser tool, and the eraser tool also has these options. It has the option of size, it has the option of opacity, and so on. Let's see what happens when you try to erase. What is the color that appeared when we erased? This is the color that appeared, the white color. What other options do we have? Let's modify the opacity. Let me change this to 50. Yes, I was able to erase something, but it's almost behaving like the brush tool here. Let's make opacity 100% again. Okay, this is not very useful if you want to erase objects. Let's increase the size to 200. You can erase a lot more. So by using the erase tool, you can erase parts of the object. Let us undo this and see what other tools are available to remove parts of an image. Let's select this tool. This is a rectangle select tool. I've done a single click on this using the left mouse button. And I've done single click using the left mouse button on the image or the photograph. And I'm dragging the mouse. That means I have not lifted my finger from the button. I've kept the finger on the button as it is. And I dragged the mouse to this location. Now I have lifted my finger from the mouse and this area has been selected. Let me go to edit and select cut. When I do this, this part of the image has been cut. Let me save this image. Export as Toyota Corolla cut. Let's open it in a viewer and see it. See, this is how the image looks or the photograph looks. This way you can do many edits. Let us see how we can type alphabets on the photograph. Can you see my mouse pointer on the GIMP toolbox? it is pointed at this large character A. This is called the text tool, where you can add text boxes or characters to the image or the photograph. So let's say I want to add characters here on this portion of the photo. I have selected the character box. Look at this, the tool options have changed, right? And let me add some characters. Can you see here? I have typed hello there, but it's really tiny. You can barely see it. Let me increase the size of the alphabets. Can you see the size here? I'm going to increase the size of the alphabets. Let me make it 36. See, it appears much bigger. I can also move this around if I want to, but let me keep it right there and save it. Let's go to File, Export to Toyota Corolla Cut, and let's go see how the image looks in the viewer. See, we have our alphabets hello there coming up here in green color. Can we type alphabets in a different color? Yes, we certainly can. Now let me select the alphabet tool, and here instead of color being green, let me select, make this window a little bigger so you can see what is the color I'm selecting. Let me select magenta. Right, this is not perfect magenta, but yeah, yes, okay, let's select this. Okay, and let's type hello there here. Okay, and let me go and save this. See, whatever we saved has already appeared. Let's open the file once again. Let us study some other changes where you don't add anything to the image, but you still modify it. Let's open our Toyota Corolla image once again. Okay, so we have this image which is having size 1280 by 648. Let's change the size of the image. How do you change size of the image? You can go to Image and go to Scale. And then instead of 1280, you can type some other number. Let's say we make it 400. And type on the tab. So you have made this 400, then you click the mouse in this window. So it automatically changes the value of the height according to the change that you made in the width. And then let's click on the button Scale and see what happens. See, the image has become smaller. So can you see the resolution here or the number of pixels? The number of pixels are 400 by 217. That means now in this image, you have 400 dots placed like this. Along each row, there are 400 dots, and there are 217 such lines of dots. Let's look at this image at 100%. Okay, see, you can barely make out the license plate at 100%. Let us see how the original image was. In the original image, even at 67%, you could read the license plate, and at 100%, you could read it very clearly. But in the image which is of a lesser size, even at 100%, you can't see the license plate. Let's zoom it to 200%. Now the license plate is visible, but not as clearly as it is visible here. So when you change the size of the image, when you scale the image, some of the details may be lost. See this logo here? It's not that clearly visible, but the logo is very clearly visible in this image. Let's make some more changes. Let's go back to 100%. So this is our image. Let's rotate the image. Now you have transform button here. Under the image menu, you have the transform option, and I can rotate the image 90° clockwise. And let's save this. Export as Toyota Corolla small. And let's open Toyota Corolla small. See, it looks like this. Can you see the resolution? It now says 217 into 400. Let us rotate the image counterclockwise and save it. Let's open the small image once again, and now it says 400 into 217. Before it was saying 217 into 400, now it is saying 400 into 217. Think about why this is happening, and in the comments window type the answer. Let's close this, go back to editing our image. Let's see if we can rotate it by a smaller amount. There are options of rotating the image by small amounts. Now we can go to Tools, Transform Tools, select on Rotate, and rotate the image by very tiny amounts. Let me rotate it by 10 degrees. So this is how the image looks when I rotate it, and let's click on Rotate. Okay, so the image has become rotated. Can you see? Hello there is appearing in an inclined fashion. Let me rotate it a little bit more so that it's much more clearer. Let me rotate it by 30 more degrees. So now it will be more clear. See, the image has rotated a lot more. And let me save this. Export as small rotated. Let's open small rotated in our viewer. See, this is how the image looks. It's a 400 by 217 image, but it has now been rotated. Thus, using the GIMP tool, we have seen that a lot of changes can be made to the image. It's very easy to add characters to the image. It's very easy to add different kinds of colors to the image. You can also do certain other changes, like adding one image to another image. Let's look at that. We have used the Toyota image a lot. Let's use one of the other images. Let's go File, Open, and select the Lotus image. Oh, it looks lovely. Let's select a different car. Let's select this. Let us see if we can add this image to this image, a part of this image. So now let me select this. Now I'm going to edit and selecting copy. I'm going to this image and selecting edit, paste. Can you see this image has appeared here? And I'm going to move this image. So how did I move this image? So the image that I selected here has appeared here. Can you see there are these lines which are sort of moving? When these lines are moving, it means you can select this image. So go to any point within this part, within this moving part, and left click with your mouse. Without leaving the mouse button, move this window here. And now left click again on any other part of the image. Thus you have added this part of the image to this image, and let's save this. Export as Lotus with car, rather car seat. And let's open this in our viewer. See, looks like this.